What up, gang? It's your boy iJack Pips here with another live stream. Let's go ahead and start breaking it down right now. Give me just 1 second. Alright, y'all. So, we see US 30 bleeding out right now. We see it climbing to the downside. We wanted it to have a little reversal right here since it is showing divergence, but it is following this trend line straight to the downside. It is chopping through some candles as well. SP looking a little bit the same, but it is showing us a little bit of some chance that SP will want to rise a little bit. Okay. US 30 is a little bit easier to take profit on since it does have high volatility count. Here in this example right here of divergence, we would have just pressed that trend line right on the first red candle. Those 30 pips would have been activated and we would have had a W, right? 47 around 50 pips, so TP2 hit. Should have had an 80 here. Divergence, green, followed by red candle, trend line, breakout, TP2 smacks. Now, the sell, where did it happen? Alright, it happened a lot earlier, around 6 in the morning. If we look right here, press a horizontal ray. This was the highest trading candle that gave this mountain right here. But it was showing divergence to the side, right? It contested right here. This candle, even though it does look exactly like a doji, it does have a body right here. Okay, that body contested with the height of this past previous candle, right? You see that? The body is right there with this candle. What does that mean? That was hidden divergence. So it was showing you the sell signal at around 6 to 7 in the morning sharp. All right, red followed by green. We draw a trend line. We wait for the breakout. Breakout happened. This would be our sell limit in this area. Advanced entry around this candle, correct? Now, why this candle? Well, because this is the highest trading candle, right? 50%. Right there. It didn't touch, but it almost wicked into our advanced entry and then started to drop. Oops. And then started to drop heavy, right? So from 6:30 to 7, drop, green candle, trend line, breakout, sell limit, advanced sell limit, and then boom, just literally floods to the downside, right? Was that more than 30 pips? Absolutely, 105 pips. We did warn that Friday was going to be an intense day, so I hope you guys have been, you know what I mean, paying attention to those little signals that I tell you. Hey, watch out for this day, watch out for this day. It is NFP, so I guess this is why it was going to be as volatile, as well as these news that came out at 8:30 in the morning that really influenced it to the downside. Then again, it did have a recovery, so downside already, upside, no sell call, with no divergence, and then just pump fake back to the downside. So what can we expect? We can expect this to maybe continue to the downside, or just start pushing sideways and then want to just raise up at least 30 pips, and then from then on we'll have to just go trade it live. You know, we won't really know what the direction of the market will possibly be, but we are seeing divergence right now. Let's skip it to SPX 500 because it looks just a bit cleaner, right? This is the last trading candle right now, the lowest. Let's draw a trend line. All right. We're going to drive from that last point of resistance, so it'd have to be like that. We are chomping through some candles, but it is what it is. Right now, divergence has been shown. You don't want to take an early trade here, just because, again, the trend line is a little off, right? It would be a little bit better. Red followed by green. Trend line, let's see. Still eating through. Green, trend line. Right, so it'll be green followed by red, trend line. Green followed by red, trend line. Still eating through some candles, so let's just wait it out. It might just continue to push back down and go sideways and then have a good trend line so that we can have a good point of reference. Right now, we are eating through some candles, and we could take a buy and then bite the bullet, and then it could just continue dumping, right? So we don't want that to happen. All right, cool. The London session, let's see, from 12 to this, just kind of push sideways. From 2 to 3, it did show divergence, but there was like barely any volatility in London sessions. Garbage. US session though, it is showing a complete difference. So we do see it pushing down a little bit lower, but then again, it is showing us a higher low on the RSI. So let's just be patient with this so that we can catch perhaps a reversal to the upside around 30, 50 pips, right? At some point, even if it does something like that, right? Let's wait it out, team. On the 10-minute time frame, let's see what she's trying to tell us. On the 10-minute, it was very clear, the divergence right here. Like, clear as day. Alright, look at that. Higher, lower, opposites, red followed by green. We're going to draw a trend line from the last level of support. Boom. All the way through again. Lower, higher, lower, red followed by green, trend line was activated, it broke out, sell limit, advanced entry, did not hit 80 pips and just dumped down almost 200 pips on the 10-minute. So it's a more secure way of trading on the 10-minute. Again, the 1-minute we're scalping. Sometimes we can hold up to TP4, TP5, 100 or open TP, but 10-minute time frame is definitely more secure. It's just less stress than having to be ping-ponging on the 1-minute time frame. Even here, we saw how it showed divergence right here between these two on September 1, which was 2 days ago, from 9:40 in the morning to around 20, which would be like, what? It'd be like 8, like 10, something like that. So this is 12. This would be 10. This would be 11. This would No, 10, 9, 8. So around 8 p.m. So from 9:40 to 8 p.m. it showed divergence, right? The trend line. What was the last trading candle? The lowest. Lowest trading candle was this one. This looks like it contested it, right? Hidden divergence. So this you have to count in. Green followed by red. Tight trend line, the breakout, buy limit right here, advanced limit, buy limit right here, and it took off from a regular entry all the way up to 142 pips in 2 days. So pretty fire. Again, the 10-minute time frame really does justice, guys. Here it was showing divergence. It did fall, and you would have hit at least TP1. So let's see it. From here all the way through. Highest trading candle was which candle? This one right here. Red followed by green. Let's see if we could have drawn a trend line there. Not really. No trend line. Still would have dropped more than 30 though, but not a really valid trend line, so we would have had to wait. It pump faked, right? So it said divergence, pump fake, back up, divergence again, dump. Okay, cool. Alright, currency calm. This gap right now, this little one, isn't really that important because it only shows on the 1 minute. If it showed perhaps on a bigger time frame, then it would be a bigger market target, but nothing. No gappy gaps. Let's see where she's pushing down to. She's pushing down to these two pieces of support. Now, let's say for whatever reason she breaks through this, it's going short for long. All right, it's going to continue to dump. But most of the time, it does one of these, and then it has a reversal, midday reversal. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. All right. Let's wait out so far, team. Waiting it out patiently. You see how even if you would have taken it, even if you would have thought that this would have broken through, look at that. Still dropping through. Is it still showing divergence? Yes. So we just need to be patient for the move to happen. Alright. So we're looking for buyers on these both. Let's go ahead and take a look at JER 30. Alright. So JER 30, we had buy limits here since this area because of the gaps. It touched the advanced entry, it touched the buy limit, and it went up and it filled in the gap. Then it had a reversal, came back down, touched their entries again. Now it's just been bopping through. You see that little gap? Filled it in again. That little gap, filled it in again. This has been bopping around. Now it died like US30 did. Let's kind of delete this. Alright, cool. It's kind of just been going sideways on the 4 hour. Even on the 1 hour, it's like it's stuck in this little box. Just pushing sideways from August 26th through. So if she breaks this box to the downside, we might be seeing JER 30 continue to go bearish. I don't think it'll possibly break this last level of support right here, but if it does, if it breaks this right here, it might just continue dumping. I don't see that happening, but let's set an alarm just in case. We want to stay aware, guys. Be proactive in this. US 30, okay. Let's go to Nzd 100. Let's see what she's doing. So Nzd 100 is also kind of pushing sideways from this box parameter right here. The box parameter, what I mean is this. You box it up, right? Price has just been in this little box, just consolidating sideways, you see? So if Nzd 100, right, even on the 30-minute was to break to the upside, we're going to do all-time highs, all right? There's some wicks, some dojis now, so it is losing a little bit of that moment, of that bullish, just super push that it was doing. But again, we don't know if it's just consolidating right now in this lower time frame to get more people, more sellers, more buyers, and then push up and make a new all-time high, which is why we're marking this up as this box. It's just been pushing sideways for what? Since August 31st to now. So since Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just blah, 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 blah. On the 10-minute time frame, it has shown some divergence. It sold, it showed divergence, it bought back up. Let's see what's going to happen. If it breaks this box to the upside, then Nzd 100 definitely going to make new all-time highs, and it is for a buy. Let's go ahead and just set an alarm on both extremities of this box. Set this other alarm. Awesome. Alright, cool. Back at it again. Nice and refreshed. Great. If you guys have any questions, please do leave them down in the comment section down below, and I'll go ahead and swing at that ASAP. So, as we were doing on our analysis, Nzd 100, did it show divergence? Hell to the yes, it did. Alright, this is our old wife, basically, our ex-wife, before we jumped into US 30. Because she was playing too much games with us, honestly, she really was, and I ended up just putting the plug on Nzd 100. But this is the pair that we started with trading on this channel, and showing divergence and everything else like that. I traded Nzd 100 for about a whole month, and we went undefeated on it, but then there was like a couple weeks that it really wasn't performing as well because she was showing us divergence and then just having continuations. I then understood that for continuations, we could just use fibs on pullbacks, and then if it breaks the fib to the upside after showing that pullback, then that's just that's just a continuation, right? You buy or you sell from that point. So what I'm trying to explain very quickly, right? Let's say that it did push down, right? It was showing divergence. It went up, then it pushed down, had this pullback. From that level of resistance to this level of support, what happened? Went ahead, touched the 50%, and then had that reversal, right? Broke out here for a little bit, then it recovered, right? Why did it recover? Because it showed divergence again. Today, from 9:20 to 9:30 in the morning today, shows divergence on Nas 100. What was your lowest trading candle on this? Let me go ahead and delete this box really quick. I'll go ahead and redraw it, but I want to delete it so that it's not like, you know, giving us this type of color background. We already have two alarms. We have the alarm set on the top. If it breaks the top, it's going to all-time highs. Again, we already explained this on the higher time frame. If it breaks the bottom, then it'll possibly continue to sell, right? So here it shows divergence on our RSI, right? Do we all see that? 922 to 930-ish, right? Lower, higher, but higher, lower, opposites, right? We throw this into a line piece, you can see it very clearly. This is lower on the RSI, yet a little bit higher on the chart. And this is lower on the chart, yet higher on the RSI. So that's complete divergence right there. That's what we're shooting for and looking at every day under the 1 minute time frame while we're scalping these indices, these indices, or however it is that you pronounce them. It goes up, green candle, followed by red. That's where we place our trend line, right? So we grab it from the last point of resistance all the way through this wick, the red wick. Okay, why? Because, the green wick, I'm sorry. No, the red wick. Having a brain fart. So basically, when we're on the bottom of the RSI, we'd want for the price to recover, followed by a red candle, right? So the red candle is signifying, hey, we might continue to go back down. The green candles are just impulse candles, and we really don't care about that too much when we're trying to take a buy from the bottom of the RSI showing divergence. So the way that we drew our trend line is trying to put it right on top of this wick. Divergence, green, followed by red. Trend line, we wait for the breakout. Breakout happens, right? The official breakout happens right here when this body completely tours above the trend line. This one's halfway. This one's wick is up, but the body's down. This one, the body's still touching the trend line. This one completely breaks out, right? Very tight with the breakout of the trend line do you place your buy limit, okay? You don't want to be placing your buy limit on the wick of the candle or anything else. You're going to put it really tight to where it broke out officially, right? Boom. Your advanced entry pertaining with smart money concept would be the last trading candle that pushed down. The lowest. This was the lowest trading candle before the trend line and before the breakout, right? That's where we draw our Fibonacci retracement tool from wick to wick. We grab the 50%, and that's our advanced entry. So we have an advanced entry and a normal buy limit. So we have our regular buy entry and our advanced buy entry. Here on a regular buy entry, it went ahead and was successful. Went ahead and climbed around 70 pips, 59 pips. So it hit TP1 at 30, TP2 at 50, and it's still floating around, right? Could it hit 80 pips? Yeah, absolutely. It could hit 80 pips. Why? Because it needs to show divergence now, which would be normal price action for it to come back up, go a little bit higher than this, but show a lower mountain right here, right? So it'll draw out something like this. Then that would signify divergence, because that would mean that on the chart, it would look something like this. So it'd be lower, higher, higher, lower. Trend line, wherever the green followed by red candles are, right? So it'd be red followed by green, red followed by green, red right now followed by green. Green impulses, it's going to buy a little bit higher. Red followed by green. And that's where you want to put your trend line. Once it has an official breakout, this would be your sell limit. And wherever the highest trading candle up here would be, that's your advanced entry. And you just wait literally for price to just whatever. It might wick up at our advanced entry, hopefully, and then start to move itself back downward. Why? Because it's overbought. That's what we do here. That's divergence, guys. We just repeat every single day the same thing. Really, nothing changes. That's it. This is a signal, right, for Nas 100 at least. It's currently buying. Let's go back to our SPX 500 snap. It's already trying to kind of push above, right? As we can see now, if we wanted to draw this trend line right at this red candle, why? Because green followed by red, trend line was too tight. What do you mean by this, hijack pips? Well, the candles were being like cut out, right? You can't do that. The bodies of candles cannot be pierced through when you're drawing a trend line. So we would have had to wait for what? For the next impulse followed by red candle. At that red candle, we draw our trend line at the top. Do you see this trend line now eating through candles, piercing through the bodies of candles? No. Now we see it legally just doing its thing. It's going above. So this would be our buy limit right here at this area of 4,530 for SPX 500, and our advanced entry would be at the lowest trading candle. That showed divergence, you see? Now, yes, my RSI does automatically chart it up for me, but that's because I modded it this way and I configured all the numbers on it. So yeah, it's pretty automatic now. It kind of cuts our work time by like half, so it's a lot more efficient, a little bit quicker to be able to shoot out signals, and as well to be analyzing on the 1 minute time frame, which you need that time gap when you're trading that fast. So here, 50%. Let me get it right on the nickel. 4,523 is our advanced entry. Okay, this is currently what we have. Let's step into the 10-minute time frame. Do we see this coming back down at advanced entry and perhaps then maybe making its way up? Yes, we would like to see that. It just hit a level of support. It might touch this level and then start to make its way back to the upside. It just had some resistance here up top. It did show divergence as well on SPX 500 on the 10-minute time frame and dumped just like it did on US 30, okay? Let's go on the 1 hour. It touched this little level of support right here with this wick and rejected, came back to the upside. Will it bop around? Perhaps it will bop around. But for now, in the 1 minute time frame, we do see this happening. This is a signal, guys. 4,530, 4,523. Let's see US 30. So US 30 right now, we're chopping through the candles. You see how we're piecing through the bodies? Can't do that. So we move our trend line on top of that red candle. All right. And now we're on the top of these candles, but we're fine. And it breaks out. Buy limit where? At this level right here. Tight with the breakout of the trend line, and the advanced entry would be down here at this candle. 50%. $3,523 is our advanced entry. 3,533.5 is our regular entry. Once it's 30 pips, right, that's already TP1 smacked. TP2, 50 pips, smacked, right? TP3, 80 pips is the next target. Will it continue to push up? Well, it could push down as well. From our advance to our regular entry, it's 51 pips. It is a lot of pips because right now volatility already opened up from 8:30 and 9:30. So 8:30, how many pips did it push down? 100. 9:30, it pushed down another 58 pips. So it's looking like stormy seas right now. But these are the calls right now, guys. US 30 on the 1 minute time frame, 3,533.5, 3,523 for the advanced entry. Let's see if your 30 is also. Yes, your 30 is also in the same game. Alright, so Open this up. Divergence up to here, divergence up to there. Lowest trading candle is all the way up here. So it started here, it ended here. Green followed by red. Trend line from this level. We're eating through candles. Green followed by red, trend line. We're eating through candles. Green followed by red, trend line. We're good, right? Breakout. Advanced entry. 50% of the lowest trading candle. And just let it ride. So there we go. Dre 30 as well. 157.14.1 buy limit. 156.90.3 advanced buy limit. Alright, cool. Let's see what happens here with NAS 100. Now that about wraps up most of the indices right now and what they're wanting to do. Ethereum Usd, which is another pair I like to look at every so often on the 1 minute time frame. Let's see what's happened. 7 in the morning, didn't show divergence. Alright, cool. Nothing interesting. See the 10 minute. Showing divergence up here on the 10 minute time frame. It showed small divergence here on the bottom of this. Went up. 1 hour time frame, let's look at it. It's definitely oversold, but it continues to climb with impulse. Where's your direction right now, Ethereum? Sheesh. Going to some great highs right now on the 4 hour time frame. Ethereum USD just exploding. Alright. Let's go to Bitcoin. It's your baby Bitcoin. Alright, so baby Bitcoin. I have these in reverse actually. This should be advanced sell limit and this should be sell limit down here. But on the daily, right? This is what we said would happen. We said literally on their last live stream, if you didn't tune in, it's literally like 2 days ago, I think. September 1. So yeah, 2 days ago, 2/1 on Wednesday, we went ahead and we were analyzing all of these on the daily actually, which was great. Let me just lower this a little bit so that right now on the 24th audio isn't annoying. Below the 50 line. Yeah, I'm still loud. Okay. So what I'm going to show you guys here is just quickly our analysis on Bitcoin, wherever that might be. I think I did it a little bit later. Oh, okay. Let's see over here. XMO, that looks like a good buy, by the way. SHIB USDT, where's the Bitcoin at? There we go. So here, right, we were predicting that basically, let me mute myself, shut up. So we were predicting that, yes, it is showing a great deal of divergence right now on the daily, and it would possibly, what the heck? Why is my mouse doing that? That is weird. Alright, hold on. That was weird. Alright, I was like drifting. So we wanted Bitcoin to still show a little bit more bullish action, right? To just further on the divergence, get weaker, and then just sell from these limits, okay? Right now, that's exactly what ended up happening. It went up higher, right? Now it's at 50 grand. But remember, guys, at some point, this is going to go ahead and find that resistance at old support levels. Old support is new resistance. It will find resistance and it will hit the ceiling and kind of have a difficult time. Maybe drop, consolidate to the side, bring in more buyers, more sellers, and then boom, push back to the upside to all-time highs. That's what I see happening. I'm calling it right now, September 3, 2021. This could happen maybe like late-ish, mid-winter 2021, maybe late winter 2021. But or perhaps 2022, like around Jan, Feb, when it will hit the all-time highs. Let's see what happens, guys. Remember, we're just analyzing, we're just speculating. We don't know exactly what date it'll happen, but we know that it will happen. Okay? Look at that divergence. All right, boom, 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 lower, lower, getting to that 50% line, right? It could even get to this 50% line and continue to buy type stuff, right? It'll be like, and still be like at 55, 53, something like that. And then finally, right, maybe do something like this and then push back up. But we do see it dropping, guys. That's what we see for Bitcoin. Right now, is it bullish? Yeah, absolutely. It's been on a bullish run, but it's going to get exhausted and it will push back down. Once it flips, right? Once it flips and starts pushing back down, that's going to be game time. To just find for sells and then wait for the buy reversal and then start to buy back up. Looking good, guys. Everything's going great. It should already have bopped you in. Obviously, I wouldn't throw some super high lot sizes at this, because if I was to throw high lot sizes, and by high lot sizes I mean like $1 lot size or maybe like $1.50, $2 on this, I would definitely be trading perhaps on the 5-minute time frame, something a little bit quicker, right? It still shows divergence right now. Here you can see the divergence happening, and you can see the climb up on the 5-minute time frame. With a higher lot size, that would secure you. But on a daily time frame, again, be wary because she'll wave around for a while. Right? That looks accurate. So for now, we wait. Let's look at our other signals. I'm not sure why the dollar is not charted up. If I charted it up, oh yeah, it should be. Okay, cool. So dollar, following what we had speculated, right, on September 1, has dropped a good 57 pips. All right. Oops. Here, let's see where it was. Oh, let me mute myself. The dollar, we are showing you on the daily, and then we went ahead and charted it up. All right, right there. So, hold on, it's still not ready. Still not ready. There's a different one. Okay, I guess that's when I started to really chart it up and stuff like that. And then I had those 2 sell limits put. So it had already broken through. That's why I told you guys, just have those as pending sell limits, right? A pending sell limit here, pending advanced sell limit there. And that's what we see happening. We do see it coming, trying to touch back at these points, just like Bitcoin will, and then start to fall back down, okay? We have this dollar selling, then this is obviously going to be buying. This one as well, AU, GU, NU. That's what we see, okay? Gold was a signal I gave on my premium a while back. It is boosting from 1806, which was our buy limit. And I still see it pushing continuation to the upside. Silver as well. AUD CAD looking great. September 1, look at that, just pushing up. September 1 was when I live streamed and I gave out a lot of goodies for you guys to be able to grab. 87 pips. Let's see. I think we are like Euro CAD or something like that as well. Yep, Euro CAD looking like it wants to touch our buy limit again. And then maybe just continue to the upside. I still don't see this as valid divergence. So I still see it pushing to the upside. Euro GBP touched our advanced buy limit 81 pips above, right? Showed heavy divergence, trend line. It went down to our advanced buy limit, and I see it slowly wanting to push up from here. So Euro GBP doing great. You know, Euro JPY, again, show divergence, trend line, and just dumped. XXX JPY all show divergence and dumped. GPCHF, I boxed it up and I've been waiting patiently for her because I wanted her to sell, but she's just been literally just chomping sideways, which is a great thing because on the 10-minute time frame, let's say it shows you divergence, you can continue to trade it up and down because you know it's just going sideways anyways. All right, GN, GJ, USD CAD was looking great for sales. Why? Look at that divergence on the daily. Bing, 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 red, followed by green trend line. Trend line then finally breaks. Should have updated this, but I haven't. 93 pips to the downside, guys. Money. USD JPY, I was waiting for it to touch our market execution. Boom, sold. 74, 75 pips. Clean. No 80 pip stop loss. Look at that. 80 pip stop loss. There's just been money from this entry right now. 100 pips, 100 pips, 100 pips. It wicked our entry, as you can see. It didn't fall 100 pips, but it's up 68 pips. That's fire. Tesla, I feel like this shit's just going to continue to the upside. It's going to make all-time highs, guys. I had pressed in, I'm pretty sure, a buy call under my ideas for Tesla a while back. Look at this. I was just like, buy it. Like, this was my original entry for Tesla, and it was fire. I mean, just divergence right here. Look, this was before when I had my white background. So you can see divergence, right? Divergence. This is lower. This is higher. This is lower. This is higher. Complete opposites. Divergence. We waited for green followed by red trend line. And we knew this was going to go to the upside, and boom, explosion to the upside, guys, on Tesla. Easy money. Then we saw Tesla again, right? What was it doing? We saw a continuation to the upside. We pressed it. It kind of fell back down a little bit, right? Back to our entry of before to cook up some divergence for itself. And then sideways action, explosion again, right? So Teslas, we've been seeing the buy for like a really long time, right? Show divergence, and it's been buying up. We wanted to fill in this gap. That's our goal right now. So what's your goal? What's your target? What are you looking for? Well, Tesla left a good amount of hints, right? Like, it's got to be a detective on these charts, guys. This gap right now had to be closed in. Why? Because it fell from here, right, which was what, January 2021, which was booming. Why? Because it was booming ever since, you know, that COVID section right here, and then explosion, bang, 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 upside, just like every other market after COVID. So then it showed a heck of a lot of divergence, right after COVID, and then it was like, wait a minute, let me sell back down a little bit, consolidate, and then make all-time highs. What are we seeing that happen on another pair? We're seeing that happen on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to some pretty good highs right now. It will fall back down for a little bit, and then consolidate, and then make all-time highs. Filled in this gap, amazing. Now we have this other gap that we wanted to fill. It'll possibly hit resistance, boom, boom, drop a little bit more, consolidate, and then continue to the upside. That's what I see the projection of Tesla being. I don't see Tesla dying anytime soon. All right, let's get a little bit into the stocks. Netflix, right? Look at that. I mean, sometimes we really don't even need, you know, our divergence, but divergence mixed in with the signal that we have. Look at that. Blue arrow means buy, blue arrow means buy, and both are very successful, guys. Sometimes you can just let this auto trade for you. But this gap needed to be filled in, right? Why? All right, let's look at this. It went up, showed divergence, sold. Every time it has a gap, it needs to fill in that gap. Gap to the downside, divergence, filled in that gap. Went back down to fill this gap in, little bit of divergence that was spotted here, boom, explosion back to the upside. Hitting resistance at all-time highs at Netflix. If Netflix surpasses this right here, 5,825,9,383, you could even say 593.90. If we see it breaking that, guys, Netflix is buying, period. How much will it buy? Not quite sure. Where is it going to make the next point of resistance? We don't know, but we know that it's going to continue to buy, period. This is bullish. All right? So that's what we see right now for Netflix. Go down Amazon. Amazon, you see the green horizontals because, you know, we've been peeping Amazon to continue to buy anyways. Just all these markets have been profiting heavy off that whole COVID thing. I'm not quite sure why there's not too much information. Where's the rest of the information for Amazon? Why? Oh, it's because it's on the weekly or some shit? It stops in May 2020. What happened to 2019 and everything else? Alright, well, not quite sure why it's not showing us all the information, but whatever. The shit exploded after COVID. Still hasn't even showed divergence that much to say, hey, Amazon's going to start selling. I still see Amazon pushing bullish. AMC, this was the hype beast right here where everyone was like, oh my god, buy, buy, buy. I was like, I don't know about that. Everything that comes up must come down, right? Push back down, showed some divergence right here, and then now it's trying to slowly make its way back up. I don't know how much more back up it'll go. GA was beautiful. On the daily, pretty good. It just showed divergence, so let's go ahead and update this. So we were looking for buys. Let's go on the weekly. On the weekly, it's been bullish, right? Since 2017, just moving up. It had to have a push down for healthy price action to find, you know, to grab liquidity back down here at the support levels and then start to push back up. It did show divergence here on the weekly anyways, from right here to here, right? This was lower, this was higher, this was higher, this was lower. Trend line, green followed by red trend line, which is that magenta trend line that I do have. It broke out, that was our buy limit, and it just went up, right? Obviously, this was back in March 21, but sheesh. Okay, so what is the overall direction of this market? I see it going bullish. So on the daily, now that I see that it's showing this little divergence right here, wanting to sell, it'll sell. Find some support, consolidate, and then continue to the upside because it is overall moving in a bullish direction. Divergence between these two mountains, so let's go ahead and mark it up. What do you mean by the two mountains? All right, if you throw this into a line piece, guys, for anyone that hasn't really exercised divergence that much, now what crypto good to buy? All right, I'll let you know what altcoins, in my opinion, are great to buy and hold. All right, cool. So GA, as we were talking about, so for lots of people, or for any newbies that haven't really traded divergence, you grab your RSI. It could be literally the stock RSI 14 close, nothing, you don't touch that. But your values, you would touch them. You throw 3 horizontal lines, one at your 24.50, one at 50, and one at 74.50. Okay, that means that price is overbought when it's at 74.50. It's at the middle when it's at that 50, and it's at 24.50 buys because it's oversold. All right, so you look for buys, you speculate, you look for sells. Now, we threw this into a line chart to block the noise because there's a lot of wigs, a lot of BS. Go listen to a line piece. You see this mountain right here? Let's compare it. Go down. This is higher. This is lower. This is lower. This is higher. Go ahead and chart that up. Touch both of those tips just for a visual representation, a visual guidance, so that you're able to understand, okay, divergence, red followed by green. draw a trend line from the last level of resistance. I mean support, right? So support all the way down here. You grab it, go sideways with it. Don't try and eat any candles. Red followed by green. Trend line right on that wick under that green candle. Are we eating through any candles? Yeah, kind of, right? So let's wait for the next red followed by green candle, and let's draw the trend line right under this green candle to assure ourselves that we're not eating through any bodies, any body of any candle. All right, let's do it. Bam. It broke out right here, so that's the official sell limit is right here, tight. This would be the sell limit right here at this area. And then we'd be looking for a 50% entry at this Fibonacci level here. Okay. This would be our advanced entry. This would be our regular sell limit on GA. Is it going to be a long sell? I'm not really too positive on that. I would want it to just fall down to the last level of resistance, which is new support. Again, if you guys have traded support and resistance before, we all know that old support becomes new resistance and old resistance becomes new support. It's just a cycle. It's a flip. It's a yin yang. Right now, we would want it to find some support at these levels of resistance. And if it continues to drop and comes back down to this liquidity zones of the support levels, then we'll just look for ultimately another buy call and we'll just hold it. But right now, present moment, this is what it's showing. It's showing resistance here at the top level for the sell to the downside. Okay. We're wanting for it to kind of find some support, maybe consolidation, some divergence, and then buy back up to continue the direction of the bullish nature of GA. Daily. All right, so that's basically everything we have for GA. This is a new kind of signal for it. I would be waiting for it to at least touch this because it's at the 50%. It might find some sort of rejection here, come back to the 50, and then maybe wave back down, which would in turn give us something like this. Right? Let's see. I'm gonna leave it drawn like that because this is on the daily time frame. Let's see, CRISPR Therapeutics. I'm pretty sure these are the people that are like working on like gene editing and stuff like that. If you haven't really seen that, go ahead and go onto Netflix. I think this is limited series called Biohack or something like that, which is basically just people that understand a little bit about gene editing. They're getting their own type of kits and stuff like that and doing their own biohacking on their own bodies and a bunch of shit. CRISPR Therapeutics are the ones responsible for this, and they're trying to have breakthroughs to, I guess, like cure genetic malfunctions that our DNA strands might have in our ancestry family clusters. Like, let's say people that are born with bad eyesight is definitely due to a fact that some sort of strain in your DNA is kind of broken and it's not working well. So they're creating this type of technology where it'll come in and literally cut that strand of your DNA and replace it for one that actually works. So your broken strand, they'll take it out and they'll replace it for the strand that's actually active and working, and it'll regenerate your problems. Like, let's say you have a genetic deficiency of like eyesight, and most of your family members come out with needing glasses from a very young age, then they would grab that and fix it so that it wouldn't happen again. So that's the type of like technology that they're working on. They did boom a little bit, but then they got a lot of backfire because then they were like, well, you are helping in a context, but everything good does have a bad side to it. And we could just ruin our genetic alterations and then kind of fuck up our DNA. And then that would definitely have a massive impact on our global scale. So they were getting scared, the people in the community, and then they were going after CRISPR Therapeutics going, yo, why the hell are you touching the DNA strands? You know, just let it be. But they're trying to help out. So it's a good and bad thing. I do see it long term continuing on the bullish rise. Just has mostly everything, right? But looks stormy outside. But yeah, so CRISPR Therapeutics is something to kind of look at right now on the daily. From low to high that I threw the fib, right? We can see that it's around that 50%, 618 zone. Some support levels being marked. These are the last resistance levels that it does need to grab liquidity from. So I do see it pushing back to the upside, CRISPR Therapeutics, with time. All right, let's look at some other stocks, and then we'll go back to the indices, guys. We haven't forgotten. Cardano USD, this shit is just getting so much hype, honestly. A really good coin. But would I buy it right now? Hell no. I would wait for it to drop back down, show divergence, and just get it at discount prices, guys. You never want to jump into cryptos when they're booming on the rise like that. And if you do jump into cryptos when they're booming on the rise like that, like let's say Bitcoin, that I'm telling you guys, hey, it's going to sell at some point soon, but it's still bullish, I would short bullish calls and just wait and be patient. But I wouldn't long bullish calls, because at some point there is going to be a reversal. Everything that comes up does come down. It's just healthy market nature. And you're not going to want to be stuck on some negatives, right? You're going to want to sell when it's high and buy when it's low, like every other professional that does it, right? You don't want to give into the hype. No. US oil is something that I wanted to kind of look at, because they did say that due to the fact that the hurricane hit the Gulf of Louisiana and stuff like that, and it was a pretty hard hit. The oil, which, I mean, you know, we already know what that is possibly going to start falling again, because they had to pause the production of it. And they are prognosticating that gas prices are going to go up in about a week or two by like 10, 15 to 20 cents because of this halt. So either this shit continues to shoot up because now it's going to be a little bit more expensive for gas, or it's going to continue up, or it might just fall because of the stop of production. But we'll have to see. We'll have to hang on. On the daily, what are we seeing? Some good level of divergence, which is why I had this line and we had this sell limit placed right here. It did fall below, came back up. Let's break it down on the weekly to see the overall nature. So, big explosion in 2008. Then they dumped it in 2009. Came back up, sell. So, just going sideways. It does have a bearish nature to it, though, for a while. With consolidation, it breaks above this resistance level right here. Then we can see it trying to find its level at 76 at new highs right now. Okay, so I would put a ray right here and an alarm for US oil on the daily. Whenever it breaks this right here, I'd be buying it. Even if she comes back down to retest this area, I would still just hold my buy and maybe shoot for these type of levels over here, right? Or this level right here. Old support, new resistance, right? Where's my ray at? So it might go up, hit this, have some struggle, and then come up and hit these. That's if it breaks through this resistance level, because now you see what we would see, right? A lot of retails as kind of like a double top, resistance, fall back down, you know, consolidate just like this, and then maybe push up. Okay. Nzd Jpy. Nzd Jpy showed divergence. We waited for it. It sold down. And it almost touched our entry just now again. And I would want to see Nzd Jpy wanting to continue to the downside. On the daily, look at it. Divergence on the daily, red followed by green, trend line, sell limit, advanced sell limit at the highest trading candle. Everything that I showed you on US 30 earlier on today while you were on the beginning of the stream, we really do it over and over again consistently on most of the time frames. We're not changing it about, we're not hitting you with curveballs. It's the same strategy, guys. A consistent strategy gives you more confidence in the market because you know that it's gonna either not go your way and you're gonna do a different setup on that, or it's gonna go your way every single time. It's just what it is, guys. It's literally there's no complicated algorithms to it, especially with the strategy of divergence. It shows it time and time again. So it sold. Yes, it did show a little bit of divergence right here. Right? It came back up. Wicking though, I do see it perhaps touching 78695 one more time in the next maybe like week or so, and we're gonna put it up once it does touch, and I do see it selling back to the downside for a little bit more. It did sell to touch this last level of support. It found support, it came back up, but it was overbought, right, for a while. On the 12-hour section, let's see. It came up. It's going to touch this level of oversold, and that's where I think it'll touch our entries and want to push back down. All right, PUBM. I'm not quite sure if the guy who had requested PUBM from me is here. I remember I did this like way back around here. I told him, hey, buy it here, whatever. It went up. It touched the advanced buy limit, and I do see it recovering PUBM. All right. What is this, a gap? There's a small gap that filled in. You see that? So it made a gap, filled that in. But this gap right here, I had told the guy, yo, that gap is sus. I think it's going to touch it. So it will touch your advanced buy limit down here and shoot back up to the upside PUBM, Pubmatic. I'm not really quite sure what Pubmatic is. Haven't really Googled it, but I just kind of look at the charts, guys. Look, divergence right here. Advanced sell limit, it should just dumped, right? Now it dumped, showing divergence now between this and this, which is what? June 7, 2021 and August 19, 2021. We can see it happening. Where's June at? Right here. And right here, divergence up. We see it buying from these levels. PUBM, if you have that stock in your trading agenda or whatever it might be, whatever broker you're using, then I would press buys on this. I do see this pushing back to the upside, Pubmatic. And then of course there's Bitcoin. This was my my analysis on it. This is like I have two US30 brokers, and then I have two Bitcoin brokers. One because one of them I chart a lot, so I have it really charted, and then the other one I just try and focus on the actual move. This move right here, we can see how it had broken up 29 of 2021, so June 29, 2021. We saw a divergence happening from here all the way to the side with Bitcoin. Boom, divergence right here all the way to the side with Bitcoin. It wanted to continue with that, then finally broke out of that and just bought. So once it broke that, guys, it went up a lot. We're at a total up $80,000 on this on a big account. And I mean, it's just a huge blessing, to be honest with you guys. That's kind of why I took a little bit of a 2-month break on the live streams, was because I mean I was up a lot of money, and I just wanted a break. You know, I was going ham on it, and I just wanted just a small break. Now I'm just fired up again. I'm ready to make another 80 and just continue to the upside, right? Just keeping it humble, guys. Just keeping it humble. So again, this is now showing that sell, but it has been bullish. All right, I do see it pushing back down at some point, like we showed you on our other markup. Let's continue. Grow Generation Corp. I think this is one of the top distributors for marijuana, I think in California. We saw it, huge deal of divergence, right? And then that sell back down. Oh crap! Hold on, guys. It's raining really hard. I need to bring some stuff in. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, thanks, guys. I'm sorry about that. It was just like I had left some clothes outside to dry out, and out of nowhere I look, and it's like, yeah, it's pretty bad right now. So yeah, all right. Let me check. Terror to the Moon, Tyson 3050. Yo, what up, Tyson? It's nice to see you on the stream, brother. Let's go. Let's go ahead and look at tariff, bro. All right, cool. So GRG, I do want to see this right now that it touched these levels of support, and it might just touch this other level. I'm not really quite sure about that, but I do want to see GRWG, right? Grow Generation Corp. I want to see that divergence on it, okay? I want to see it push a little bit down and bop around this and then fill in this gap, okay? We already see the gaps. You already know. The people that rock with me, they know. Gaps, that means that with time, it's going to want to fill it in. That's how it works. Boom, gap right here at this level and gap right here at this level. So which is our first target profit area? Right here. This is our first target profit area where we'll want to fill in this gap. Does it have gaps to the downside? Barely. Okay? These are bigger gaps. So we would want to see, again, divergence happen on our RSI and daily price action, trend line that bit, and then wait for it to break. And first target profit area, right? It might then fall a little bit more, whatever. But then long term, I see it hitting, I see it hitting good levels. Now, again, the marijuana district is a little bit still recent. Yeah, they're letting, legalizations here and there. But once it becomes legal at a bigger scale, way more states, and as well they start practicing on the medicinal works of it, maybe to cure cancer, to cure this, to cure that organically, instead of big pharma just selling you a bunch of fucking pills that are just killing you anyways. We'll see a huge growth. We'll see all-time highs on this Grow Generation Corp, and you're gonna want to be part of it, guys. These are things that you kind of have on your portfolio and you kind of buy once it's ready. Right now, I wouldn't buy it until it shows a divergence, and then we're ready for it. I'll go ahead and shoot the signal. I'll post it up on our trade ideas. Just be able to follow me through, and make sure to follow this account, guys, so you're able to see when we post up those trade ideas, and you're able to follow through with that and put it on your portfolio, okay? All right, let's continue. IBM, we saw it selling. Stocks just take a great deal amount of time, right? We saw this selling in July, and it's not till it touched our entry again. It didn't touch our entry again, but it did touch just once and then fell back down, It's just what it is. Stocks are a little bit slower, but, is it going to fill in this gap completely? Yes, I do see it filling in this gap. And then what? And then maybe consolidating, and then maybe wanting to shoot back up for IBM. Overall, what's the nature of this? Bearish as hell. Since 2013, IBM's just been falling, right? It's at this level, which is why I sold it again. Why? Number one, on the weekly, it's showing bearish. So what are we going to be looking for on daily? Bearish, right? To hold. Number two, we drew the trend line of overall on the weekly, and we see that we understand that people, if you do trade trend lines, you know that every time that price action comes up and touches your trend line, it's going to act like a resistance bar, and it's going to want to push it back down. Right here, it almost came close, push back down. It came close, push back down. It now touched, it's going to push back down. It's possibly going to grab some liquidity at these levels and then want to buy back up. Right here, it showed divergence. Okay, then it bought up. Now we're seeing it push back down. That's what we see for IBM, guys. It's still bearish in my eyes, IBM. Home Depot. Home Depot looks like a tricky one, guys. Why? Because Home Depot is definitely tied in with the whole lumber thing, and also lots of people wanted to make lots of renovations in their houses because they got a lot of money during this COVID, 2020 thing with unemployment, and as well just extra money sitting around because they weren't really going out and spending it on restaurants or, et cetera, et cetera. So they were like, yo, let's just make our house a little bit better, or whatever their case might be. Buy new air conditioners because, you know, shit breaks. Whatever it might be, the Home Depot has been pushing to the upside. Bullish nature overall. So what would we be wanting to look for? For sells, for divergence, to then hold for buys, right? But right now, as I see it on the daily, we do see that small gap here. So is it going to want to fill this in? I think yes, absolutely. It will want to fill this in. Okay. 4 hour, nothing. Just gonna have to wait it out. I see Home Depot still wanting to be bullish and filling in that gap. And that's on period. UFPI, I'm not really sure what this is. Some of the stocks, I've just gotten requests from it on the actual chat. So people will be like, hey, I trade this stock. What do you see about it? And I'll just chart it up, right? And I'll give you the analysis. That's why, guys, don't be shy. If you guys are trading this or that, just let me know in the comment section. Let me give you an analysis. Chart it up with me and just leave it there. If we were wrong, or if I was wrong, then I was wrong, all right? If you have your own analysis and we match up analysis, let's say you're like, hey, man, for example, like General Electric, I see that selling. Do you see that selling, Jake? I'll go ahead and look it up, you know, on the daily. I'll give you the analysis. If we both see the sell, we're doing it in unison, you know what I mean? As a collective, if we both see sells, let's sell it. If we both see buys, let's buy it. If one sees a buy and one sees a sell, all right, let's try and understand why, period, okay? Aolicious, you're doing a nice job there. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate it. Is it a good moment to buy or invest in Polkadot? All right, Chloe333, give me just a second. I'm going to go to Tariff, and then I'm going to do Polkadot, and then we'll look at to see if they're good moments to buy or to sell. I did want to ask you, though, Chloe333, are you looking to invest in Polkadot for long term or short term? Because that's very important. If short term, then that would mean anything from 4 hour lower. If long term, it would mean anything from 4 hour higher, such as 12 hour daily or lower 4 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, you know, some type of short trade like that. We'll go ahead and look at Polkadot though. Weyerhaeuser, I think this was a lumber company or something like that. Not quite sure. Let me see. Yes, this is for timber. So basically wood. This is a lumber industry, right? People were giving a lot of hype saying, oh, lumber to the moon is going to continue to buy. We said, we see the sell. Look at the divergence right here. Divergence doesn't lie, guys. Divergence, then boom, sold. Gap, okay, so this is something to keep in mind. All right, we would want to see it come back up and fill in this gap for lumber. We were waiting for the divergence. The divergence happened. I haven't touched this stock in a while, but divergence did happen. Do you see that, guys? All right. From June 18 to July 19, we see great amount of divergence right here. We saw the gap. It filled it in. Green followed by red trend line. Let's grab it at the last level of resistance as we usually do. Let's keep it consistent. Let's not BS. Let's not change it up. Green followed by red trend line. We wait for the breakout. Breakout happens here. So official buy limit would be right here, right? All right, boom, buy limit. Where's your advanced entry? At the 50% of the lowest trading candle. Go ahead and grab your fib. All right, and that's what we have for this stock. Weyerhaeuser company, it's a lumber company. We would want to see it come back down for a little bit, right? Maybe touch one of our entries and then shoot up and fill in this gap. If it just fills in this gap, then it's going to come up, show some resistance, and then sell. Overall, on the weekly, lumber has been kind of going up and down for this stock. Bullish, bearish, bullish back. since, again, the COVID. So we would want to see it kind of wobbling around and maybe coming back down to these levels, okay? That's what I see. All right. Starbucks. All right, so Starbucks, the reason why Starbucks has been doing so well, if you guys don't know already, yes, long-term thank you. Awesome, Chloe, thank you for letting me know. I'll go ahead and get to that as quick as possible. Right after these, I'm almost done. I'm at Starbucks, NS Energy. I think this is, I'm not quite sure. We'll go ahead and read it. AUD and NZD, Ben, Neo, and NZD. So we're almost done going through the whole chart, the whole list, basically. So Starbucks has been doing really great because of our basically weather alterations, making droughts, and just hitting a lot of global temperatures rising, making droughts and making less rain, which means that coffee beans are not receiving as much rain and are not yielding as much. And due to that fact, then coffee bean has been just going shooting up, which means that Starbucks has also been shooting up. But everything that comes up must come down at some point. Overall, Starbucks has been bullish, right, since its origin. But I do see it falling a little bit and then just continuing to this up path. Unless any other company finds some sort of new coffee bean or something like that, that's amazing and that's really easy to grow. Or if you know these botanists, right, maybe change the how versatile, right? How versatile the coffee bean seed can be, and then maybe they can make a little bit of an alteration where the coffee bean will grow in drier environments or without as much water, and then with lots of coffee beans, then Starbucks will come back down. But till that happens, I still see Starbucks rising a little bit more. On the daily, though, we saw some divergence happen and just continue to push back up. We do see this gap right here. I do see Starbucks wanting to continue and to push up on this gap and be bullish. Overall, it's been bullish anyways, so I wouldn't be surprised if it continues to go up, then find some buckle, and then start to sell back down. Healthy price action. This is Nestle. Nestle has also been doing great. But Nestle showed this level of resistance right here. It doesn't have gaps like Starbucks does here. Okay, Nestle has gaps to the downside. So I see Nestle falling, all right? Again, key, Nestle falling. If you have that stock, you know, you don't have to throw a whole standard at it, but maybe $1. Maybe you're comfortable with $1. You make an extra $100, $150 on that account over time, and you're gonna be happy. Last level of support is right here. Let's go ahead and grab it. Red followed by green. Trend line. Are we eating through anything? No. All right, perfect. Great amount of divergence starting from April 9, 2021 all the way to August 15, 2021, which is like what? June, July, August, September, like 2 months ago. And ever since then, it's just been wobbling around, right? So why hasn't it continued to go bullish, right? I see this falling back down and filling in these gaps. Sell limit would be right here, tight, as tight as possible. Even, I mean, I would cap it right here, but honestly, if you wanted to, you can also have it right there. And then grab your 50% advanced entry here at this level for Nestle. Bang. All right. Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to clean this up. Just kind of put a 0 here to make it a little bit easier to follow through. 0. There we go. So 127.80 advanced entry sell limit for Nestle. And regular sell limit 126.50 for Nestle. All right. We're almost going to get to going to the request, guys. Please bear with me. I'm going as fast as I can, but also I'm not going to chop up my analysis because then we make mistakes, and mistakes cost us money, and I hate losing money to my team. Honestly, that's the shit I don't like, and we ain't going to start today. So, AUD NZD, grabbing liquidity from these support levels. Do we see it falling further? I don't really see it falling further. I mean, damn, it's already grabbed a good amount of liquidity here from these support levels, and it's showing divergence, okay? So let's go ahead and mark this up. All the way sideways from here all the way through. It's been showing divergence. So from this all the way down, resistance level up here. Last level of resistance, let's draw a trend line. So it's still kind of premium trend line. You can see it kind of cutting through the bodies. So we're going to want to wait. Green followed by red is where we draw our trend line. So it would look something like this actually. I would want to wait maybe one more week for AUD NZD to show me, you know, kind of like green followed by red over here and not chop through the candles. And then the breakout, which then would activate a buy limit for AUD NZD on the daily here. And then the advanced here. All right, so that's speculation. It's not done yet, but let's look at the weekly, okay? So the weekly, bearish, bullish, bearish as heck. Consolidation now here. Here's where we see that AUD NZD will be pushing up for a great deal of time. Coming perhaps 2022, maybe late, like early midwinter is when it maybe will start buying. And then 2022 to 2023, it's going to continue to the upside. Okay, so this is a long term. Just once it reverses, guys, you're going to be looking for AUD NZD, Australian dollar versus New Zealand dollar buys on the 1 hour, on the 4 hour. Every time it shows divergence on the bottom of this RSI, on the lower time frames, you're going to want to just flick buys on it and hold. Why? Okay, look at this weekly, okay? Now, again, not going to take too much of your time. Okay, thank you for your time, mate. I mean, invest and hold for a very long term, like 5 years or even more. Okay, amazing, Chloe. I'll go ahead and give you that, that analysis right now for that polka dot. Tyson, if you're still in here, I'm still going to do tariff, my brother. That's locked in. All right. So here we see AUD NZD. Okay. We see AUD NZD. Do you see this right here? All right. This is beautiful. Why is this beautiful? What do you see in this? All right. I'll show you very quick. All right, so I'm going to change my screen now to this tab. This is the Wyckoff method, okay? I'm trying to just go upon it every single time I live stream so that everyone's aware of where I grab my strategy from, how I put it together, and the accumulation structures and distribution structures, guys, because this shit repeats over and over again, okay? This guy found this out when he was alive at 1873, 1934, right? So it's been hella decades, and we're still using this to today. Accumulation, when it's oversold on the RSI, is when we look at it for divergence to then buy, to then have the yin-yang effect to where it's overbought and then sell. Again, Bitcoin, at the finest explanation. Bitcoin was down in these areas. Everyone's got, it's going to die, it's going to die. I saw divergence. I saw it buying back up. What happened? Now it's at 50 grand. What happened to people that thought they were going to fall to 20 or 10 or 15? They were wrong. Why? Because I don't know what the hell you're even having, and I don't know where you learned your shit from, but you know what I mean? That's not the way I roll. Once we see that RSI accumulation, it's oversold, we're looking for divergence, we're placing that trend line, which could be this little yellow line, right? From resistance, boom, yellow line, it breaks out, we're buying. All right, now it's overbought. It's showing the divergence. Let's draw a trend line through this yellow line, right? And then we're selling. Every single time, it's a yin-yang effect. It's going to happen time and time again. Market cycle. So accumulation, right? accumulation schematic number 1. This is how it looks like. Let's flick back to our chart, okay? On AUD NZD on the weekly. All right, look at it. Okay, I'm gonna flick back one last time to the wick off, and then that's it. I'm gonna finish it off. So this is accumulation schematic number 1. Please, on the daily, okay, or on the 4 hour, sometimes even on the 1 hour, 10 minute, when you see this structure that is beautiful like this, or like this, which is accumulation schematic number 2, all right, so I might do either this one up here or this one down here, accumulation number 1 or accumulation number 2 schematic. This one has an ST and phase B, which is the lowest price point, and then it kind of just bops around and then starts to buy back up. Why? Because it'll buy back up to be overbought to then make this schematic where it's distribution. Let's go ahead and look back one last time over here. Accumulation, distribution. So distribution is going to have its own schematic and accumulation its own schematic. Right now we're seeing a schematic of accumulation on AUD NZD, okay, on the weekly. We're seeing more specifically accumulation schematic number 2. If you guys memorize this right here, it is exactly what we're seeing on AUD NZD on the weekly. Exactly. All right. STM phase B right here. It's bopping around. It hasn't showed a new like overall lower point, but if it does, I still see it pushing up, guys. Look at the 200 EMA, even on this beautifully. It went below the 200 EMA. It's bopping around. It's respecting the 200 EMA, but now it's playing above the border. At some point, it's going to break the border and it's going to start pushing up. So AUD NZD, for a good investment of a long hold, I would do it, especially on this weekly, just exactly how it looks like here. So moving on forward so that we don't take an immense amount of time on AUD NZD. Here we see it falling, divergence, we're waiting for it, it's going to cook, it's going to start buying, and we're just going to continue to just spam buys on AUD NZD. So this is on hold right now. All right, let's do our last of the last. Franklin Resources, not really quite sure what this is. Franklin Resources Investments. What? Not quite sure what this is, honestly. If you guys know, let me know. I don't know. Someone like told me to mark this up, right? Or told me to like have this out in like previous live streams like 2 months ago. So I have it. This right here showing divergence, red followed by green trend line. Broke out, sell limit. Advanced sell limit at the highest trading candle, and that's it. That's as easy as that goes. Neo USD, I'm pretty sure, is another altcoin. I think it is. So this altcoin, we can see how these wicks, I see them filling in at one point, all right? Cryptos are going to have a huge boom as time progresses, okay? Right now, there is some huge boom, some huge hype is being introduced, and various governments are approving of cryptos, and as well, it's being implemented worldwide at a slow rate. The mining, once, Elon Musk came out and said, hey, mining is not efficient for the environment or whatever the fuck, then Bitcoin fell to those low standards that we saw. Bitcoin fell because Elon Musk said that mining Bitcoin and other coins are not efficient for the environment. So people saw it as not good. What happened? What I speculated, well, Elon Musk, being the genius that he is just going to find another method to make it more green, eco-friendly, and then guess what? People are going to be like, oh, well, now it's eco-friendly again. Bitcoin is cool. Cryptos are cool. Let's continue to continue the hype. That's all it is, guys. I mean, how the fuck are you going to push this shit back down once it's all the way up, right? You gotta give it some bad name, a bad reputation for it to fall back down. Buy it at retail level for all his other boys, Elon Musk, like people, whoever the fuck, he talks to, and they're like, yo, I'm about to send this shit down. Buy it at retail value and just hold it long term. Like, do not take out your investment, period. And that's how people get in. Now, this altcoin Neo USD, I see it falling as well, just like Bitcoin will on the daily time frame. We see the divergence very clear from this and this, right? Lower, higher, higher, lower. Okay, let's draw our trend line at red followed by green candle right here. Are we eating through any candles? No. Are we at the last level of support? Yes. Perfect. So step 1, find divergence. Step 2, draw a trend line. Step 3, wait for breakout. Did breakout happen? Yes, it happened right here, really strong. So breakout right here, 50% with the highest trading candle for your advanced entry, and that's step 1 through 4 already done. That's a strategy. Done. Divergence, trend line, breakout, market execution, at which go together, and then advance sell limit. 4 steps. So again, divergence, trend line, wait for breakout / market execution, advance sell limit. Period. Hold. Wait for market to cycle back downward. That's our strategy. You can add other confirmations as support and resistance, as whatever other confirmation you want to use to make yourself happy and make yourself see the move better and more strong, to add on to your confidence and to add on to your analysis, right? I have the 200 EMA. I see that it did push up. I see it pushing back down, then having some trouble, and then pushing back to the upside, just like I see Bitcoin doing. Bitcoin is a big brother, and to me, in my opinion, whatever Bitcoin does, the altcoins do. Besides, Cardano, which is on its own, Cardano's on its own level right now. It's its own thing. It's just pushing up. Crypto, Bitcoin, it went to all-time high, went back down, but this is just crazy. All right, team. Let's go to the comment section. Okay, so Tyson, let's do Tereth. Then I got you, Chloe, Polkadot. So Tereth. Alright, Tereth, I'm not quite sure how to look at that, bro. Right now, this is what it's giving me. I'm not sure if this is the one. I'm gonna open it up. Let's see what it looks like. What the fuck? I'm not sure what I'm looking at, bro. This shit literally started up here, just died. Like, what? How? I don't know. But hey, on the 1 hour, shit. Or on the 4 hour at least, because we see like better movement. I do see divergence happening, so I would see it wanting to push back up. But I don't know how much momentum or how much volatility Tereth has. Whatever this is. I really, one, I don't know Tereth. Number 2, I don't know who's backing up Tereth. Elon Musk hasn't said anything about Tereth. But assuming that Tereth, for whatever reason, is a hype beast, is going to win the people, and is going to take off, right, at some point, we do see some good gaps right here in market on the 4 hour, even right here. Market's going to want to fill in that gap, this gap between here. Right, but it just dropped with it should just died. I don't know why it would die like that, but all right, it is what it is. All right, so Tereth from here, from 12 all the way down, divergence, okay? Let's throw this into a line chart because it will be a little bit easier to read. From here, it was the lowest point. This is higher on the chart than this was. So let's go ahead and guide it through. All right, so divergence all the way up to here. Then it recovered. Red candle is dry from the last level of resistance. Red candles, and we do see it breaking off. There is this gap though, so it might want to come back down to this level, which would be kind of perfect, to be honest with you. Because right now that it broke out, this would be your buy limit at this area. And then you would want to throw even more money at it once it goes to the 50% entry of this candle. wherever that price point would be. Or however you read these numbers, because these numbers are mad fucking confusing. I don't know what the hell that is. But whatever it gets to this level, that's where I would be at my advanced buy limit. Okay, so I would want to see this push down, fill in this gap, touch my advanced buy limit, and then push back up and fill in these gaps. That's what I see for Tariff, bro. I hope this helps, Tyson. Honestly, again, brother, be sure to make sure that this will continue to, because this is scary, bro. This shit literally just shit. That's crazy. But hey, you know what I mean? Anything is possible. Based on the analysis, that's what I see. You know what I mean? It will go to these levels and want to buy and then just continue. How long will this take? Not quite sure, brother. That's what I see. All right, Chloe, let's go ahead and rock it. All right, Polka Dot. Let's get it. Polka Dot. Alright, so Polka Dot USD, right? Pretty sure that's what you're trading. Polka Dot USD, not Polka Dot USDT. Oh, so this is dot USD? Alright, cool. Damn, it looks like I had already. It looks like I had at some point had this charted up already. Let me add it back. Alright, cool. So dot USD, let's look at it on the daily. Would you want to invest in this long term? All right, so this is a little secret, right? Basically, most of the time that like we just saw literally like previous Tether on this Tether thing, whatever that is. Tariff, I'm sorry, not Tether, Tariff. I'm gonna show you something that looks interesting, right? So on Tariff, this shit died to the downside, right? As we can see, it's very clear. It's kind of bopping around now on the 4 hour. Bopping around, but it hasn't had the explosion yet at all. Dot USD looks very similar actually. Why? Because when we look all the way to the left, bro, this shit also died. That's a solid ass bar to the downside. Just died. And then somehow it got activated. Boom, explosion to the upside. So, hey, I don't know. You know what I mean? If Tariff really does gain momentum, really does gain the attention of people, I would see this being great possibilities to buy and go to the upside. Now, again, I haven't done my research on Tariff, so I'm not gonna tell you, hey, throw fucking $1,000 in here. You're gonna go be a millionaire by like 3-5 years from now, right? But on .USD, it does have a lot more movement to it. Okay, right now, I guess this would say that it's at $32 right now. Let's see. So most cryptos, including Bitcoin, are showing that it's gonna want to fall before making all-time highs. Let's see what this is showing on the daily. It's showing divergence. Okay, cool. So I'm expecting this as well to come back down. What I would recommend for you to do, my brother, if you're still watching, Chloe, is I would possibly buy in at $26.15 and have another one, a heavier buy at $20. Okay, because measuring this overall, from this level of support to the last level of resistance where it had this huge pullback. Let's see. So $26 and $20, right? So not much change. It's actually the same shit that I just said. From low to high, you're looking for buys. That's how you use a fib. From high to low, you're looking for sells, okay? Right now, we see that it was selling and now it had this huge pullback, okay? So let's delete this just quickly, just for analysis sake. From high to low, we're looking for sells, okay? Where do you see it now? From high to low, we're looking for sells. From high to low, we're looking for sells. It came down. It had the pullback. It's at the golden area. It's showing divergence. So it's at the golden area as a fit for a sell, okay? It's also showing divergence from here to here. Do we see that happening? Yes. All right, that's divergence. Divergence. We grab our trend line from the last level of support. We would want to see us going sideways, maybe climbing a little bit up higher. But Brody, Chloe, I see this maybe selling a little bit more, coming up like this, right? And price action maybe here going like this. No, I'm sorry. That's too much. And then shooting down, just like Bitcoin will. Grabbing some support at this level over here. And then maybe shooting back up with Bitcoin as well. Pushing to all-time highs. New all-time highs on it. That's what I see. That is going to break this level right here at $50. Yeah, bro, I see this shit breaking $50 and going to the upside and making all-time highs. That's my analysis on .USD. So would you hold for long term for 5 years or so? Yeah, man. Would I buy right now to long hold? Hell no. I would want to wait a few more, maybe till like October, November. Continue to stick with me through this through my profile, and hop on the live calls, maybe if you want every time or every now and then, and ask me, hey man, can you do the polka dot again? I'll do the polka dot again for you. We'll continue to analyze. We'll continue to shoot this through. And I do see this again. Let's do this again. Fib from low to high on the support level. Last of support to the highest level of resistance from low to high, looking for buys. All right. Now, when I had all that scrabble, right? Where is it? I guess not. I guess I deleted it all and it really did go away. Alright, whatever. So from low to high, I said that I would possibly grab some support right here and then want to push back up. So your buy entries for this would be here and here to hold long term. There. Now I would have one last one right here. If you're holding for 5 years or so, I would buy in here, not such a big buy, here with a heavier buy, and here as just in case it does dump to this level, I would throw hella money in it and just want to wait. I don't think it's gonna touch this level though. $11, I don't see it. I don't see it dumping to that level. I see it touching 21 and 26, and then wanting to continue on its path to the upside for long term. Okay, that's my analysis, Brody. Absolutely, brother. You're welcome. Thank you for tuning. Thank you for tuning in and staying through the live stream. I hope that you've gotten a great analysis and as well a good outlook on what you're trying to do. And just continue to stay up, brother. Let's do this, bro. 26.21. I told the same to my own personal friends when we were looking at Dogecoin. I mean, if I was to change all of this into white text so that you're able to see a little bit more clear. La 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 la. Oops, may not touch anything. My Doge has been documented for a while, bro. Like I've just. So I told everyone, yo, guys, buy at 25 cents, right? It shit came down to 17 cents, and I do see Doge as well buying above 73 cents, 74 cents. I see it hitting $1 now. It's going to hit $1 with time, all right? When you look at the progress of Bitcoin, brother, Bitcoin, it didn't go over. It didn't just push one up thrust and went to the fucking moon. No, look, all right? Bitcoin was nothing. And then it pushed up, pushed down, found support, pushed up, pushed down, and then boom, explosion, right? Now it's at these highs. Came back down, came up, will come back down, you know, kind of sideways, and then boom, explosion. Guy, it's the same thing over and over again. So Dogecoin, right? I would buy in Dogecoin again at 20-25 cents. I still see it coming back down. I see it maybe touching 25. Do I see it touching 20 again? Not quite sure, but I do see it touching 25 for sure. And I would buy it at 25 and just hold. Okay? So, yep. That's what we see. That's what we see, bro. Yeah, that's just a lot of shit that I have on this paper. I haven't wanted to delete anything since I started to analyze this because I was destroying Dogecoin. Even here, when people were like, oh my God, Dogecoin to the moon, whatever. This was May, even before, where it was like 420, I think it was, that people were like, oh, you know, it's going to go to the moon or whatever. Around 420 was when Elon Musk came out and then this shit died. That's what I wanted to happen. I wanted to hit 20-25 cents. Then what happened? It went up to like 70 cents, right? Right after that, boom, came up and we were just up. Then it showed divergence and I was like, bro, this shit's going to sell. Boom. Had to sell right here. Been in profit, bro. Right? So after this sell, then I was like, all right, let me see what's the next move, right? It's going to find some support and buy back up. Exactly that happened, right? Sell, then it's finding some support. It found divergence. I drew this line. I bought in at this level of 18 something cents, right? And then boom, back up to the upside. Now I see some divergence building up and I see it selling back down, consolidating, and then booming back up. I'm going to try and consistently go on live Monday through Friday, or at the very least 3 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, which are the best trading days. I usually will go on live from 7 or 8 a.m. Eastern to around 1 p.m. Eastern each time I live stream. I also have a free Telegram chat on my actual profile and my link, so please do check that out. And yeah, I'm just going to be updating a lot of stuff. I'm also going to start on my YouTube channel. So lots of good things, bro. Lots of good things coming in the future. But yep. Yo, what up, Van? What up, Van? Nice to see you back here, bro. It's always nice to see, you know, my old team and as well, you know, the people that were with me from the beginning, bro. It's just fire. You know, like 2 months and a half ago when we were streaming. Tyson, Van, what up, bro? Van, you're killing it on the gold, brother. That setup, bro. I even like I showed my girlfriend and everything. I'm like, bro, look at it, look at one of my students, bro. He's just destroying this shit, bro. Actually, it really made me happy to see that analysis on gold, bro. I was like, bro, that's fucking fire. But yeah, right now, let's see. I still see gold kind of buying up a little bit more, you know, in the overall daily. So yeah, that's what we see. Let's go back to US 30. Let's see what was happening while we were kind of analyzing all the other pairs. We did tell everyone to buy in at this level, okay, on the live stream. Not quite sure who did or didn't, but you know, it did go up 86, kind of coming back down. I don't see any divergence. I'm not quite sure how much more volatility will happen because I think the moves are over with. To be honest, it is Friday. At 12 p.m., we might see a little bit of a fall back down. But let's see. All right, cool. Sorry for that pause, guys. So US 30 does look like it will maybe lose some momentum right now at 12 p.m. once London session closes. Unfortunately, this is my fault, guys. I didn't get on as early as I really wanted it to. I should have been on again, like I usually do at 7 in the morning, to have been able to catch that sell to the downside. That was, I mean, terrific. This sell was fucking crazy. Not gonna lie. Shit sold like 214 points. It did buy up right here, about 50 points. It hit TP2, and then it just started to sell back to the downside. So that sell was the move. It was amazing. The buy did hit TP2 and then went back down. Then we went ahead and hit TP2 again. I did tell everyone it is going to hit 80 pips and we would want to see divergence. This was live when it was over here. So for whoever kind of shaved off, you know, these kind of like 17 pips and we're like, well, he did say it's going to buy back up. Boom, you know what I mean? You hit TP2 again. I usually don't do it this way. I like waiting to hit buy limit or advanced buy limit, but again, this is just what we have. Yeah, so pretty much 3 trade outcomes: 1 sell, 1 buy, and another buy. Okay, that was the moves for today for US 30. I will be more consistent on the live streams and my time. I will be more sharper on the time that I start trading next week. Okay. And let's just chop this up, guys. Let's bring our machetes for Monday, the 6th of Monday. The number 6 is my life number, and usually I've been getting a lot of signals for the number 6 of my personal life spiritually. So I know that Monday is going to be a great day. It's going to be a great start of the week next week, and I am going to be live trading every single day next week from 7 to around 12 p.m. or 1 p.m. depending on what moves, depending on how much pips we catch. And it's gonna be a great journey, guys. So we killing the markets this week. Thank you, bro. Vannon, thank you, bro. Thank you for believing in yourself. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for really learning the strategy, bro. Because you have every indicator I've ever put up. You chart shit up perfectly, and I'm very honored to work with you, bro. Honestly, I'm very honored. But yeah, we've been killing charts, just slaying them shits. Shah! And we're going to continue to slay charts from time to time to come. So this live stream is coming to an end very soon. US 30, perhaps it will bop around this and maybe push back up. Okay? Maybe push back up. All right? The moves have already happened. So don't try and get in and be like, all right, you know, I'm going to hold for long. Because honestly, the moves and volatility already happened. And I like to trade when there's volatility. I like to trade when the momentum's prime. I like to trade from 7 to around 12. Why? Because look, 8:30, huge volatility. Why the volatility happened at 8:30? Because there was news. There was unemployment news, payroll news. This is NFP. People are like, oh my God, NFP, I'm going to lose my account. Don't trade this week, which is why we don't see that many people on the live stream. But hey, NFP doesn't scare us because when you're doing divergence, NFP is nothing but a great week to trade and a lot of volatility to be able to make your move, make your money, and get out the system. All right, SPX 500, let's see it. Came back down to our buy limit for SPX 500. I said it on this live stream, 45.30. Did it hit 30 pips? Yes. Did it hit 50 pips? Yes. So it hit TP1 and TP2 here live on the live stream. Let's look at NAS 100. NAS 100 unfortunately did not come back to entry at 956. I'm not quite sure if it had broken out and we'd said it. I think this had already taken off by the time we were marking it up, unfortunately. But, you know, 60 pips up. Okay, TP1, TP2 hit. I would want to see this pushing back down from 12 p.m. Okay. This was the signal for NAS 100. NAS 100 only had one signal. US 30 had 3 signals from 7 and beyond. This pair really didn't have too many. It did show a little bit of divergence and then exploded to the upside. It didn't hit her stop loss and then reversed back down, hit TP1, TP2, and then bought up. Okay, so I guess 2 moves on NAS 100. SP over here from 7 had only 2 moves, 2 buys. All right, divergence buy. Okay, hit TP1, TP2, divergence buy over here, and then TP1, TP2 smacked at 30, 50 pips. And then NAS 100 did have 3 moves, which is my personal favorite. US 30, excuse me, with that sell. All right, 30, 200 pips, 30, 50, and then pushing back up. All right, guys, that about wraps up most of this whole thing. JUR 30 as well had from 7 and beyond kind of one very clear move that showed, and then it bought up, hit TP1, TP2 at 30, 50 pips. All right. For our premium people in the live stream right now, I am gonna go ahead and just be printing out and sending out the analysis on all the daily charts. We're not late. Okay, we're not late on the daily charts. It's not like nothing crazy has happened. We're still very prime on those daily charts. We still need a little bit more movement, but there is a good amount of daily signals that we see reversals on. That about wraps up this session, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to this live stream. Remember, guys, next week we will be live trading, so please stay tuned and have your notifications on for our streams. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, spend time on yourself, love yourself, meditate,